and someone that I've done work with in the past, so I'm delighted to welcome her. Frauke holds a Bachelor in Sport and Leisure Management and a Master's in Sports Coaching from Hagaheria University. She is also a graduate of the ICC's National Coach Developer Academy in Japan. Before finding her way into sports, she completed her doctoral thesis at the University of Helsinki in geology. Okay, so a little bit different to coaching, or not, who knows, okay? And she's lived in, although she's originally from Germany, she's lived in Finland for the past 15 years. In coach development, her passion lies with developing her participants' reflection and self-reflection skills, communication, listening skills, coaching philosophy, and being athlete-centered. She's involved in a variety of coach education courses for coaches in Finland through the Finnish Coaches Association. I am absolutely delighted to welcome Frauke to the stage. Please welcome Frauke.
Thank you, Sergio. It's my pleasure being here today in the morning. Some of you probably remember or know me from past coaching symposia. And I did the organization in the past years, so it's an absolute pleasure to be here, finally being able to stand on stage. And for the ones who are expecting a normal lecture, it's not going to be that. It's going to be a workshop. That's why you've got the papers there, flip chart paper, pens, and also the post-it notes. So I'm going to introduce, at the beginning at least, a little bit the Fair Coaching project to you. It's an Erasmus Plus project with a different amount of partners in it, and the Finnish Coaches Association is one of them. So the project is about promoting values and tackling discrimination and inappropriate behavior in sport. So let's see the partners first. So for Erasmus Plus, we always have partners from different countries throughout Europe, and we are with Greece and Serbia, Finland, France, from different sports for 3 years. Create an educational toolkit, promote an environment that is supportive for development. We want to make you aware of inappropriate behavior and create a healthy sports environment for our participants. Good, so the next one. Why do we need these kinds of projects? Because unfortunately all around the world, in every of our countries, and I think we have a fair share of international participants here also, not just Finnish people, we hear and see these kinds of news all the time. Worst coach I ever had, violence and aggression in sports, bad feedback, bad behavior on the sidelines, emotional misconduct by coaches and other athletes, racial slur, unprofessional conduct, emotional abuse and neglect of athletes by their coaches, and coaches who think that their athletes are disposable and perishable goods. And we as the project think that we really need to change something in the way coaches think about athletes and think about sport, and change the environment that we are offering to our athletes. And it's mainly about being aware of what that means and being aware of how we conduct ourselves as coaches. What do we say? What is our body language? What kind of climate and environment are we creating for our coaches, for our athletes, sorry. So those are just a few of the Fair Coaching project backgrounds. We support and provide awareness, recognize behaviors, that are unfair, gender, sexual, and any other discriminatory behaviors within the sport environment. Promote a fair, inclusive, and respectful sport environment with ethical approaches, fair play, social and moral values. And we want to spread a culture of respect in the sporting environment and whole society. Because we coaches, we have a huge impact on our athletes that we are working with. I'm wearing the t-shirt of the Finnish Coaches Association today, and in Finnish it says valmentaja on välillä. It means that the coach matters. So we as coaches, we really do matter, and what we do matters, and how we do it matters. So we conducted a study at the beginning of the project, and we did find out that there is lots of unfair treatment and behavior in sports, and it doesn't matter at what level, grassroots all the way to the top. So we are developing and applying tools to promote fair coaching and provide training and workshops around the project. These are our goals. And some of you might know that in Finland, some 22 years back, the Finnish, what is it again called in English? Finsis. Raino? Rane, please help. Anti-doping agency, exactly. Conducted a study in competitive sports. And it was sent to 160,000 athletes, or 9,000, a little bit more than 9,000 replied. With online studies, it's always this way that you hope that you get lots of replies, but sometimes we are very good, and sometimes you would like to have more. But what we do find out in the study is that sexual and gender-based harassment is common in sports, but it's not more common than elsewhere in society. But it's also not better in sports. Harassment is linked to cultural structures, gender inequality, and the status of minorities. And it's increased if you're female of a young age or are actually competing on a higher level in. And you could read yourself that where do the ones that experience harassment, what kind of background they have and where they come from. So, just a small graph. As we just said, with the ages, it's higher, it decreases. Gender-based harassment, similar observations of gender and sexual harassment, also peaking at 16 up to 24 age range. Then we go to who does this. And it's actually other athletes, it's the audience, but it's also own coach and instructors, or the coach or instructor of another athlete. Gender-based harassment, quite similar results. And what are the consequences? Well, they are usually psychological consequences, decreased self-esteem, feeling of being the odd one out, feeling of vulnerability by the athletes. So we have here decrease of self-esteem, didn't like belonging to the teams, for example, feeling of vulnerability. Decreased performance is also one of the outcomes. Difficulty trusting others, difficulty with building relationships. So then, now we come back, what is fair coaching? And why do we need these kinds of projects and workshops for us coaches to increase our awareness and also increase our ability to maybe stop that kind of behavior in ourselves, but also when we see it, we can help somebody else to change their behavior. So now it's your turn to scan the QR code with your mobile phones in your group, and then for 10 minutes on your table, discuss the questions and the statements that you see on when you have logged in after scanning the QR code. discuss and leave comments under the statements. And every table can comment on every single statement and question that you see on the Padlet. So you have 10 minutes time now to discuss and have a look. The QR code on your table leads you only to the project information. The QR code for the discussion is the one that was on that slide. Can you put the QR code? That's the one. That's the one to scan now for the discussion on Padlet. Just as a clarification, if not everyone on the table needs to answer, so it's enough if one of you writes the answers with the phone, if somebody, for example, hasn't been able to open the QR code. So have the discussion and then just write underneath the questions and the statements a combined answer from your table. And do discuss on the table with each other. Now I can start hearing that you're actually talking to each other. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Thank you. All right, so excellent conversations going on. Everybody is really discussing with each other. But our 10 minutes for this first task are going to an end. Let's have a look at what the others are writing. What is the line between inappropriate behavior and appropriate behavior? Lack of respect, yes, there is one. Ethics, education, inappropriate behavior, respecting others, awareness against manipulation. Nice ones. What is inappropriate behavior in sports? Not treating athletes as human beings. Exactly. Or treating anyone not as a human being. Humans first. Lack of respect. Calling names. Not respecting feelings. Being aggressive. Lack of respect. What kind of inappropriate behavior have you observed or experienced in sports and coaching? Coaches yelling out, mocking and disrespecting athletes. Physical and mental abuse. Yes, very good. So I think you probably talked about all sorts of other things also, and not just what you put there, but that's already really, really good. And I think that maybe you were able to share some experiences also, or what you have heard or experienced yourself, or you know somebody else who has experienced something. At least I have also in my own sporting career experienced name calling and a coach straight to my face telling me that I suck in the sport I do, which is not really a nice thing to hear. So let's go on. We still have 2 more tasks. So now, create a concise definition of the term fair coaching. Maximum of 20 words. Again, discuss in your table. And then use the Sharpies and the big flip chart papers to write your concise definition of fair coaching that you agree upon on your own table with the others onto the flip chart paper. So we have 24 definitions of fair coaching by the end of the next 10 minutes. If you want, you can first use Post-its and think a little bit about the words that you might, each one of you, want to have in your concise definition. And then you do a quick vote of the values or the terms that you think should be in there and the ones that you are willing to leave aside. All right, 10 minutes, fair coaching, 20 words max. All right, we have 2 minutes left. Now it's about time that you put your concise definition of fair coaching onto the big flip chart paper with the Sharpies. You can share it with the room and show it. So a concise definition, meaning one sentence consisting of 20 words. That means fair coaching to you. One minute left. All right, so let's see. We'll start with table number 24. One of the table, please stand up, read out your definition, and then we'll count down from 24 to table number 1. So, table 24, please. Somebody needs to stand up at table 24 and read out your definition. Mick, where is table number 24? 24? There. So, your definition, please read out.
Good morning, everyone. Empathetic, be empathetic, show equality, treat others like you want to be treated, be kind, good mentor, demanding. What else we got? Good motivator, communication.
Thank you. All right, let's go to the next table. We'll just do it a little bit chaotic.
Teaching, not telling. Support the artists grow. Respect. Empathetic. And treat everyone equally.
Excellent. So we'll have a scheme here. Everything goes into the same direction. There is still a concise definition being written. Here it looks like there is actually a definition.
Yeah. We wrote, have the courage to remain yourself through communication and to be honest with your players and anyone around you.
I like it. Very good. Communication and honesty. Courage. Do we have another concise definition? That looks like one.
Yes, fair coaching is respecting everyone as individuals and creating a positive culture of trust and well-being.
That's what I call a concise definition. Very good. As individuals, a positive culture of trust and well-being. Very nice. This one looks like a very good definition too.
We went for to provide a safe and supportive environment that fosters respect, whilst also caring for an athlete's mental and physical needs.
Fantastic. Safe and supportive environment. Exactly. Let's go over here.
We've put creating a culture of values that inspire performance through safety, respect, accountability, and hard work.
Thank you. Excellent. Again, we have the safety and the respect. Very good. And the last one.
We think what is fair coaching is living with the created values and sticking into it, meaning the humans, not just the players.
Excellent. And we have the human being there also. Fantastic. So I think that even we haven't read out all 24 definitions or your keywords, I'm sure that every one of you agrees that you really are all going in the same direction of fair coaching being something about creating a safe environment with respect, human beings, seeing players and other people involved in your coaching environment as individuals. We came up in the project with this definition of fair coaching. It's athlete-centered and inclusive, good coaching which is carried out in a physically, mentally and socially safe environment. That's just what we thought. But all of your definitions are equally great, good, inclusive, safe, respectful, athlete-centered and individual. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And again, I heard lots of good conversations and discussions going on around the table. Everyone putting their own thoughts into your concise definitions. Fantastic. So, let's create a fair coaching word cloud together. Again, scan the QR code. You can put 3 words in there that are now at the end of this workshop important to you. What you have taken out or what fair coaching means to you. 3 words. Everyone can answer, so we are creating the word cloud together. Word cloud works the way that the more times the same word is put in, the bigger the word is. So we're all creating that together. There we go. We have a live word cloud coming out respect, athlete-centered, trust. If the word is coming in for the first time, it'll be there, and then it's growing and being centered the more times the same word is put in by you guys. So indeed, fair coaching is about trust and respect, equality, safe, human beings, athlete-centered, humans first, positive, values, respectful. I like it. Excellent. Somebody still putting in some of the words around fair coaching, what fair coaching means to you. So I think that we have a word cloud that really respects what you guys think about fair coaching and what is important to you in your own coaching. That's really, really great. I really like that we have to respect equality, athlete-centered, and the trust and safety right there in the center. Because those are really key when we are working with our athletes, with all the stakeholders around the sporting environment, that is what we bring forward, that's what we show ourselves when we are coaching, when we are interacting with other people. So, fair coaching tips for you that you can take home now with you. Because the coach matters. What you do, your athletes do. The way you act, the way you behave, your athletes behave and act. So if you want to know more now about the Fair Coaching Project, maybe share it with your coaches back home, have a look at the materials that we created. The number paper on your table has the QR code directly to the Fair Coaching homepage of our Erasmus Plus project. And now it's for me to just say thank you. Thank you for this workshop. Thank you for being so active and sharing with the other people on your table. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Frauke. As always, fantastic engagement and
Thanks.
And really difficult questions, which is something that you do very well. Okay. Now, speaking about difficult questions, stay here. Do you have any difficult questions? This is just your time to get back at Frauke. Any questions from this session? Anything that you would like to know more about, or anything that came on your tables that maybe you couldn't get full agreement on, or?
Was there something new?
Yeah.
Maybe? No? You agree fully with whatever I just presented and what you just discussed with each other on your tables?
Well, I had a chat with one of the tables, and I'm going to put them on the spot, but table, I don't know, table 3, is it? Table 3, you guys at the back there? Yeah, it's you. Don't look around looking. I know it's not me. We had a chat about, because in their definition, they included the word courage.
Yes, we did.
So please explain a little bit more about that, because I found that really fascinating.
Well, there was a situation last night during the game between Sweden and Norway. Norway had a power play, and I was quite surprised to see Wielander on both power plays. After the first power play went out, he skated slowly towards the bench, and he saw 4 players coming in, so he went back. And I was just wondering, if I was the player that was supposed to jump in on the second power play, how I would have felt. I understand he's good. He just arrived 2 nights ago. He's a star. But it's a long competition, and if you already use him for the full 2 minutes of power play, I don't know what kind of message you're sending to the other guys that are working hard, they've been practicing and hoping that maybe he's going to play. I understand, you know, like maybe they had a talk before, like we spoke about it yesterday. Maybe it was all arranged, everything is fixed, he's going to play. But I don't know if it's in the long run what's going to do, like what's going to happen. Maybe they had to speak about it, but I thought I was a bit uncomfortable seeing him on both power plays.
Yeah, thank you. And the discussion came because in the definition, the word courage, as a coach, you need the courage to do what you think is right, or what it is right, even if everybody else. So is courage something that we need to work on with coaches so they can really do what they think is right? And what stops coaches from doing the right thing?
Yeah, I agree. And I think courage, or creating an environment that supports courage, or an environment that is brave, and I think brave and courage goes hand in hand, is something that we should strive as coaches to create for our athletes. But at the same time, it means having a brave environment that is safe, means that you are allowed to make mistakes for the athletes as well as for the coaches to try out. And maybe that was a brave environment last night. Maybe they had agreed upon it before, we don't know. Or maybe it was just let's see if it's going to work out. It's a brave environment where you can make a mistake.
Well, I think it was the easiest decision. Villander, you stay on there, and I have no trouble.
But
whether you score or not, you know, I'm okay with that as a coach.
Exactly.
But if you do the other decision, maybe you're giving everybody else the hint that we're here as a team. We're going to win as a team. It's a long competition. Villander is here. We're all happy, but he's going to have his part of the cake, but not the whole cake.
True.
But if you let him on the ice, you're good. Everybody likes it. The fans like it and everything. It's just a question of taking the decision. I don't know if I don't think it was a bad decision. I looked at it and I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, but maybe afterwards also the coach now reflects upon it and thinks that, okay, maybe I actually should have sent out a different message. Maybe this was not the best solution I had at that time.
And
Possible.
perhaps some other players as well.
Exactly, maybe somebody else also. But that's what we're in when we are coaching. We sometimes make not so good decisions, or decisions that we regret afterwards, or think that I should have done it differently.
Yeah.
We behave very often in a way that afterwards we think that I should have reacted differently.
Yeah.
But the important thing is, what we take out from this is that how do we act and react the next time we are in a similar situation.
And on that note, Frauke, about creating a safe environment where people can be brave and have courage, just quickly in the room, just put your hand up if, as well as being a coach, you also have responsibility for other coaches, whether you might have some kind of technical director role or performance manager role or coach educator role. Are you all just coaches, or do you take responsibility for other coaches? Put your hand up. Okay. All right, so nearly half the room have responsibility for other coaches. You have a responsibility to create that environment where your coaches can be brave to make right choices, to do the right thing as opposed to doing what other people want them to do or what other people expect them to do. So that's probably one of the things that you need to bear in mind, that in your roles, you really have your big responsibility to create that environment where this can happen. It's not just down to the coach. If we put everything on the coach, it's hard to do the right thing when everybody else around you expects you to do something different, or is going to judge you for something different. All right?
All right.
Frauke, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Please welcome
Sergio.
say thank you to Frauke.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay.
Thanks.